Today I would like to talk to you about repetition and when we educating horses in round pen education or any education in the horse life, and how to apply proper repetition in horse education and why it's so important to have repetition in our education so we can develop horse mental and physical abilities. And the horse education without the fear, frustration, mentally and physically. Most of the time in our life, when we hear a repetition, we think in mentally right away it's a repeat and repeat exercise or repeat mentally or physically when we're educating horses or ourselves in our life. When I transfer my knowledge to educate horse from the sport life to transfer to the horsemanship, for me it's very important to share with you so you can understand repetition can damage horse mental abilities and after physical abilities. The same like pressure and release physically can damage horse mental and physical abilities. That's very interesting subject what I'm sharing right now with you. Pressure and release can damage horse mental and physical abilities. And repetition, if you don't know how to apply proper timing in each repetition in a physical exercise when we're educating human or animal, we can damage mental and physical abilities. When I'm saying repetition, I come back and I'm saying again, when I'm saying repetition, we think right away repeat and repeat physical exercise. I give you an example. Say for example, we're going to take a human and going to start to educate him physical exercise and going to apply first repetition. If I'm going to start to educate new physical exercise human and apply a long period of time on this repetition, I will damage human mental abilities. And after his brain, his computer going to send signal to his tissue of his muscle, it's hurt to their joints, it's uncomfortable, and human mentally will not going to be happy come back for his education because he hurt. First of all, that's very interesting, but that's reality. First of all, we're going to hurt mentally. And after tissue of the muscle hurt, joints, tendons, not proper blood circulation in the brain, and etc. And human hesitate to come for a new education and continue being educated in the physical exercise. So exactly the same when I transfer this education from my human education from the sport to the horsemanship, I apply exactly the same philosophy and methods. And I give you idea and reason. I have two coaches in my life. When one coach educate me with a lot of long period timing, a lot of pressure, he wants result right away, he was very tough and gruff, he not understand. Yes, he have result with students, but some students can handle and some students will fall apart mentally and after physically. And I am prime example. I did fall apart mentally. I actually cry because it was so painful mentally, and after I fall apart physically, and I was very unhappy to come back and work with this coach. And when my first coach immigrated to United States, then second coach started to educate me, and then magic happened. I was very excited to go and learn more. Mentally, I was so excited, and my physical abilities grow so deeply and so strong. My blood circulation, my brain, I want to learn more because I was so comfortable mentally, and I want to grow physically. So what this coach did to me, if any time he applied physical exercise, he applied repetition, 3 repetitions from the left and right side of my body, mentally and physically, exactly the same. That's how we educating horses right now, and I share with you my methods in round pen. We're going to apply repetition for each cue, 3 times repetition. on each cue. So horse will, an increase in timing. So horse will understand this cue. How long we have to stay in repetition? Till horse will understand. It can be 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, or week. But you're not staying all the time in the same step. You're developing steps, and added steps, new methods. Because if you're going to stay all the time in the same step, it's going to become routine for the horse. Horse is going to get frustrated, upset, and she's not going to be happy to continue in work because it's all the time the same and the same, this mental routine for the animal. So right now we're going to ask horse to travel forward motion, to move your feet forward motion from our energy, our presence. And we don't care which direction Rose right now going to travel. We're going to come back and say, can you travel forward? Please forward motion. Move your feet forward and going to step away. That's our first repetition. And horse going to stay and relax. Horse relax. Again, why we have relaxation between repetitions? So we develop horse relaxation mentally, developing patience, relaxation, and confidence. Second repetition. Horse went forward motion, and we're going to step back, all the way back. And let horse relax, because it's her room where she's working right now. That's her education place. She have to have this confidence. Beautiful. And we come back to the third repetition. If horse already walk, it's not walking right now. It's not a point right now to ask horse to travel forward, because she is mentally already moving her feet forward. So it's very important to horse, when horse going to stop, then we're going to apply a cue. So she realized she have to move her feet from our cue, not when she already traveling forward. And again, she stopped for a second right here, and I'm going to say, can you move your feet forward? Can you move your feet forward? You see how much hesitation right now when we start to educate horses, just educate Rose right now, shaking head, humping, not travel forward motion. Imagine if we're not going to develop this here, what's going to happen in the future education? Going to get more and more and more problems, and horse mentally going to fall apart. So he applies, say for example, he start new exercise. First exercise was explanation. After was 1 minute of the exercise. Second repetition was 1.5 minutes. Third repetition was maybe 2 minutes. Maybe he still stay in 1.5 minutes till I develop my mental and physical abilities. But the most important key for the success between repetition was relaxation. When you relax mentally, you want to, your mental abilities, your brain, when relax, he wants to go back and learn, because your hormones happy to come back and work and be educated. So exactly when we apply repetitions that's very cool, very interesting subject. When you apply repetitions in the horse education, if you find new exercise, first of all, have a lot of patience. Second of all, decide in your brain, I'm going to educate this physical exercise, say for example, stop and face you. You ask your horse to travel left and right direction, stop, face your horse, stay still, and go all the way back. Relax your horse. Second repetition going to be more steps forward. Say for example, first repetition was 2-3 steps. Second repetition going to be 5 steps. And also in the same time, when horse going to stay still, in the first repetition, let him stay still for 30 seconds. In the second repetition, 40 seconds. In the second repetition, 10-15 steps. Third repetition, increase time. So eventually, if you apply this repetition and develop this way, horse mental abilities, he will be relaxed and he will be interested to relax on this exercise mentally, because he know I will gonna relax here, and horseman will gonna start to educate me. He's not gonna just run me left and right, and dominate me with pressure and release. He educate me, he communicate with me with body language, energy, voice command, repetitions, and a lot of relaxation. And I treat human, and again, I took my experience from my sport. That's how my coach treat me, second coach, not first, second. He have a lot of physical exercises, first of all, to warm up my mental abilities, physical abilities, and after he transferred, start to educate me advanced exercises. So when you start working with horses, it's exactly the same. You have to have a reason, you have to have a plan, you have to have a knowledge, and horse will understand that. Because our goal to educate performance horse. Again, not performance sport. Performance, not educate horse in performance sport. Performance horsemanship, two-way communication between horse and horseman. Oh. But can we all the time in our life apply repetitions? Absolutely not. Till horse mentally understand what you educate horse, then you start to take repetitions away and educate final performance maneuver. But key for that, again, reality, exists repetitions also too. Because if you're going to apply final performance maneuver for a long period of time, you again going to damage horse mental abilities. But how are we going to apply repetition with final performance maneuver? Not in the same day. That's already, we have a schedule with the days. Because on this day, I'm going to practice final performance maneuver just for 5 minutes. Next day, it's going to be 6 minutes. So reality, end of the day or end of the month, you're going to stay in the middle of the round pen, and horse going to stay still and face you because you increase in time in each repetition. Or horse going to lop around you and never stop because you first of all educate horse mental abilities with repetitions. He truly understands mentally to travel left and right direction without pressure and release. And after you took these days and increased timing on each repetition in the final performance maneuver, till end of the month when you're going to finish your round pen methodology and educate your horse, you develop your patience, you develop your skills, you develop your consistency, your discipline in your cues, your horsemanship skills, and horse develop exactly the same: patience, relaxation, muscle memory, blood circulation, lungs, joints, tendons. You become an athlete. And mentally, he's so strong, he's not falling apart. He's not running just because horsemen apply energy behind the hindquarters. He truly understands what are you educating. Understand mentally what are you educating him. His emotions in the level, his physical ability in the level, solid level. He not falling apart. You both communicating, and horse travel around you, never stop. So I hope you understand, guys, how important, first of all, to develop horse emotions and mental abilities and use this repetition from the left and right side of the horse body. So develop horse mental and physical abilities. And it's not just a round pen. In the future, when we're going to work with our horses, in hand communication, develop confidence, riding under saddle, exactly the same philosophy, exactly the same methods. Develop horse, first of all, mental abilities. And when we develop horse mental abilities, in this repetition, in proper timing, and increased timing in each repetition, we will develop horse muscle tissue, proper blood circulation. Horse gonna get strong. Horse gonna get strong mentally, physically. He wanna be happy to relax between exercises and continue work for you.